Hello, everyone. Today is August 19th, 2026. This is the Kubernetes Data Protection Working Group meeting. So 1.37 GA date, August 26th, so it's coming. So the first item is to go over CSSCPT status. So I see that the blog is merged. We're just waiting for a publication date, right? Prasad, do we know anything else? We didn't mention anything about the date yet, right?
The PR is merged. Yet to work on the publication date. I'm not sure if we needed this anymore because it has been merged.
Okay. Yeah, I think they probably right now they're busy with blocks for 1.37 release. So probably after that one they can work out a date. So I think we can pin them maybe sometime after the 1.37 release if they have not get back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we can work on this GA plan, tentatively 1.38. We want to target GA. And so Carl, you will be updating the cap, right? Or Prasad? Carl or Prasad?
Yeah, we'll look into that, Evan.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So
What's the deadline for that? Well, obviously,
they have not started uh they have not published the schedule for 1.38 yet because right now we're still wrapping up. So I think maybe sometime in maybe beginning of October could be cap freeze.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but that means before that we need, they usually have like a PRR deadline, right? And then before the cap merge, we need to have the stress test. I think I see that.
Rakshit, that push some stress tests, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one. So yeah, please, everybody help review and take a look at this one. So yeah, and I think. Is this the major thing? What are the other things we need? So I think we have implementation. We have implementation from at least two storage providers and at least two backup providers.
Mhm.
Okay. Ben, do you think of something else? Are there anything else you think?
Requirements for
For G
beta
for no, this is
for
for
GA.
GA. Yeah. So
Uh,
skill test, definitely that's one thing. Just trying to think
for
about
for
that.
GA, I think we would want to see not just existing implementations, but like actual adoption to some extent, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
you could have a bunch of implementations that nobody's using, and that doesn't tell us anything. Because once we stamp GA on it, like we're stuck. And so we don't want people to
Right.
then start using it and then tell us, hey, by the way, this doesn't work.
Mm.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but
I mean,
anyway,
I'm not personally worried, but like that's the general pattern is we
yeah.
want some level of adoption that makes us comfortable in addition to existing implementations.
Okay. Yeah, so let's at least get that started, right? Because we know this process takes time. So at least just look at update the cap and see what are the things that we need, right? Can also look at, let's see I think we have that there. We have the requirements there in cap itself. Let's see. Is that called snapshot metadata? Okay.
You passed
Name.
it.
What is snapshot metadata? It's not snapshot metadata.
3314.
All right. Oh, okay. So it's okay. This is a change block. Okay. Let's see, what do we say here? J. Serves including serves part of their distros, allowing time for user feedback. Okay, yeah. So we need to get some user feedback. Okay, so basically, we'll have that deployed. Is this a part of OpenShift? Is anyone from? I don't know if anyone from OpenShift today.
It's a feature gate, I think, because we turn on. We've been turning it on in ODF with the feature gate flag. It's under dev release. Again, I'm not speaking for
Oh.
Red Hat, but I'm just saying
Right.
we've seen it. Yeah.
I think okay. It says plan for beta. I don't. When is it? I don't know. Anyone knows when? I don't know. I'm not following their release. 4.23. That's the plan for beta. Okay.
4.23 is due out in November.
November this year? Okay.
Yes.
26. All right. So the plan to move this to beta, then that will be enabled by default, and I guess that's what beta means. Okay. So we'll have deployment at least enabled by default, then then that means it's always there. Okay. But does that mean I think that is being added to Vollara as well, right? So I guess if they use Vollara, they will have it after this one move to beta. It will be there by default.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Valero and OADP are developed completely separately from ODF. There are tie-ins, but the engineering management's different, product management's different, all that stuff is different.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can try 1.38, but yeah, let's see. Okay. Anything else for CBT? Okay, moving on. Snapshot topology. So this one, it's PRs still out for reviews. And next item, the white paper. Do we have any update?
Yeah, so Jatin added a nice section on cyber recovery.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I would ask, so is everybody familiar with the term cyber recovery? I hadn't really heard that one before. So maybe I don't know if that's something everybody else knows, or do we need to expand a bit on what that really means?
Okay, cyber. What is that? Okay, this section. Okay, do we have a section in the beginning about terminologies? Do we have anything like that?
Yeah, we might
Maybe
put something up there about
add
ransomware and other threats.
maybe do we want to add some section about like a terminology section somewhere in the beginning or
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. So just curious if this is it's for our audience, right? So the
yeah.
question is, does the audience just get it or not? Well, I'm not hearing anything either way, but I'd say we should probably we'll put something more in there about ransomware and maybe expand a
Yeah.
bit on
Maybe in the
the actual threats.
add something in the beginning, maybe.
Hey, sorry, I'm back. I was in another conversation. I see that cyber recovery is highlighted.
Yeah, so thanks for putting that section. That's really great. And just I was
thinking we might want to expand a bit on what cyber recovery means, and the ransomware threats and so forth.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? And now you say it, that makes sense, right? Because not everyone understands what it is. So I can expand upon that.
Okay, that'd be fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is really a good addition, though.
I also saw, I looked at took this opportunity to just look at the rest of the document as well. By the way, it's really good, right? So this is great. I the comments that I put in, right, they were more specific to that. Okay, I've added a cyber recovery section, but in other places also, it would be good to refer to it wherever possible, right? And it we need not like force it, but a couple of places I had put in comments where we could call out cyber recovery specific considerations,
Yeah,
right?
like this section here, I think this is a really good point of, if you are recovering from an attack, I think your point is that we can't just recover the application, but we may need to recover the infrastructure and everything else, and really, as you say, a clean room approach. So I
Yeah.
think that's a really good addition. I was a little curious up above, you'd said something about needing to quiesce databases.
Yeah, I saw your comment, and after relooking at my comment, right, I think I didn't explain myself, right? So my comment was that, see, when there is an infection, right, it might be just for some part of your application, right? And thing is, if we are not quiescing, right, then your backups and then your restore as well are not consistent. So it might be that even though you might have cleaned some part of the application, patched it, or just figured out a clean copy, since they are at different points in time, right, within the application itself, you might not get something which is first of all consistent, and it might reintroduce the infection, right? So that's the nuance I wanted to highlight. I don't think my comment clearly captures that. So that's what. So that's why quiescing become this all these quiescing hooks, right? Become important. Not just because it will provide you consistency, because that's important for many backup restore scenarios as well, but also specifically for cyber threat recovery.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, though. One of our continuing issues is that we don't really do cross, we don't really do consistency at a very high level, right? So we might quiesce, for example, the database, but if you have two databases, one's quiesced and you back it up, then you quiesce the other one, you back it up, and they're slightly out of sync.
Yep. Yes.
So we had done some work on that a long time ago, but they just never really got a lot of traction. Nobody really ever seemed to care very much. And it is hard. And plus you take a lot of downtime, right? So if you quiesce your entire application, so we can call that out and suggest some strategies for that.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's things like, if you had replication hot, you could take one side down while you're backing up and get a consistent copy, for example. But it has been something that just we haven't really had a solution for that yet.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, there is a trade-off, right? Many customers I've talked to, right, and these are mostly I get to talk to VMware customers, right? So they bring up consistency, but then I also mentioned, right, that it doesn't come for free, right? It has impact, it has an overhead on your production, right? And then conversation goes to, okay, then maybe if our uh, frequency of backups or RPOs are very tight, maybe we do quiescing not as frequently, right? Maybe we do it every 24 hours or only on weekends when we can take that overhead on our uh, production. So it's more of a consideration, but it does come up, right? Even outside the cyber threat recovery scenarios.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, but when you say, right, that we have not done this, means I'm new to this, right? But I've seen Velero, right? It has some backup hooks. So are those not what sufficient for voicing? Does it
Well,
need more than that?
it'll quiesce whenever it hits something. So, for example, you might have backup hooks for each. Say you've got two databases running. You've got MySQL and I don't know Mongo, whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And as you hit, for example, the MySQL pods, you trigger the backup hook and quiesce, back up all of their PVs, and then unquiesce. So
Hmm.
it doesn't quiesce the entire application, right? So it doesn't
Hmm.
quiesce both databases or, you
I
know,
see.
yeah.
Hey, we
And
actually have another paper that we done earlier. We talked about QoS in length, right? We actually had some examples how people do this with different type of databases. We actually have, I think there's appendix there in, the first paper that we did, Dave. Uh, we do have this. We do talk about QoS. Yeah.
yeah, it's just the whole quiescing the whole Kubernetes cluster, for example, is something we've never really addressed.
Oh yeah, no, not QoSing the
So
whole
like it,
cluster. What do you mean by QoSing the whole cluster?
well, if you have multiple things running, right? So multiple things have state, and we generally quiesce each individually. If we even do quiesce, but if you did set up your
Yeah,
hooks,
yeah, but I don't even know what you mean by quiet the whole thing, right? You have to have your API server, you have to have some like basic Kubernetes
I'm just
controller.
saying all of the pieces of the application.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the
I think
astrolabe
it's
stuff that I was trying to
yeah,
do.
I think that's tricky, right? I think it would be good to actually refer the old paper we have, kind of talk about different cases, how people do quiet.
Hmm. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's a good place to go to. And then the point I think that Jatin's raising here is that having a fully consistent, not just piece by piece consistent, may be something that we need to protect against ransomware. At least we can call out what might be happening there, right?
Yep. Yes. And yes, it might be something which users can start with whatever capabilities are available today, right? And it won't be the whole application. But this is a more of a best practices white paper,
Hmm.
right? So I
Yeah.
think it is fair to suggest that that's the right approach. Yes, the tool might not be there yet, and there might be some workarounds which users have to do to set that up. But it's fair to call that out in this best practices as a best practice.
Yeah, and if you can expand a little bit on how that threat, you know, materializes, right? So
Yep.
what would be the actual threat that's happening there? So we have ransomware running and it's, eluding, I don't know, is, what would really, how would it be caught or escape, if you're not getting fully consistent?
Yep. Yes, I can elaborate on that, right? And it goes back to your overall comment, right, on cyber recovery section that I added. I go into best practices directly, but it's important to explain, right, that why you should even worry about it, right? Because like if you don't do things in a certain way, what are the blind spots you might have, right? So going using the same guideline, right, I can expand upon that. I do that in the so would is it okay if I do it in that quiescing section itself, or you would want this to be where does it make more sense? Do you want this to be done in the cyber recovery section, or given that this is more related to quiescing, it's okay to call that out there?
Maybe both, but it probably wouldn't hurt to have some definitions about ransomware and stuff. I mean, everybody, has heard the term at this point, but not everybody really understands uh, how it might actually affect them, I guess, or how
Hmm.
you know. But I mean, that's a lot to cover, right? And we are planning to do another paper on uh, ransomware in general, right? That was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
idea.
On that, I have started something. I still need to just brush it up. I'm hoping next meeting, right, I can actually share at least the outline, right, of what it would
Mhm.
look like, right? So yes, those lot of details we can put in that paper. But even for this paper, I agree, right, that some explanation of uh, yes, users are familiar with the cyber recovery term, right? But for many, if you ask them, okay, what are you doing for cyber recovery? They said, oh, I have backups, right? And backups are enough. Or I already have a DR plan. That's enough. And it's important to call out that, no, that's not enough, right? There are other things that you should consider. So I can add a bit of description around that.
Okay, that sounds great. And we'll continue to, look through and review overall. So if everybody else has time to look through and comment, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Other thing that I'm hoping is that I one of my sessions on the cyber recovery, right, for Kubernetes applications, I'm presenting at one of the community days so I'm hoping to get some feedback from wider audience as well.
Nice.
So maybe that feedback also, as I get, I can inculcate that into this and the other white paper that we will be drafting.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah, I
good.
think that's about it for us on the white paper today.
Great. Great progress. Thank you. Okay. Okay, then DR model application. Martin, you have an update for this?
Work continues. No updates of interest to the wider community to report.
Okay. All right. Anything else folks want to bring up here? Otherwise, that's it for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
See you later.